My eyes can read good. It's my brain. My eyes are such good readers. I feel so bad because they're attached to this dumb brain. I mean, they're looking at these words and they're like, you're not getting any of this, man? That's the 5th time we've read that sentence. Let's try another one. Fiction, nonfiction. I don't know which one's the truth. I read every book as the truth, is how I handle it. And from what I can tell, we have a pretty big wizard problem in this country right now. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna put this energy pretty late in the show. This is what my energy is. Dustin? Look, thank you for having me here. This is very exciting. Got to play some sports, softball. Struck out, but, it's just a pretty big yellow ball. And I like to play, I play a lot of sports. I like to golf. And recently I was golfing, and I got done, and I was very hot and gross. So I wanted to change my shirt before I drove. So I'm standing in the trunk of my car in the parking lot. I take my shirt off, and this old man walks up, and he goes, "Olivia?" He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on. I covered up. I was like, "What's that?" And he was like, "All right, honest mistake." And I was like, "That hurts worse than saying Olivia." I don't know who he offended more, me or Olivia. I think we could both have a word with him. I'd love to meet her, though. I tell you, I'd love to see her and be like, "All right, I get it." It was an honest mistake. I don't have a good body. That's the message. It's not. You ever wear those Under Armour shirts, those skin tight ones? Like, I look better without a shirt on than with that shirt on. It just shows the worst parts of your body. They have like plastic surgery, how they draw markers on you? They should just put you in that shirt and be like, obviously you can see what we're gonna go after. I did do some sports growing up. I played baseball, and when I was 13, I was playing baseball. One time I was up to bat, and I got walked. So I take my base, I get to first base, and I turned around, and the catcher was still standing there, and he was holding the ball. He's like staring at me, like he was daring me to run. And I was like, "All right, dude, I'm gonna go." So I ran, he threw it, over through second base, ball goes in the outfield. I run to third base, the outfield grabs the ball, they overthrow third base. My third base coach is telling me to go home. This is about to be an inside the park home run off a walk. I won't be on Sports Center. This is the biggest play that's ever happened in baseball. I slide, there's a play at the plate, and the umpire then tells us that it was only ball 3. This is exactly true. So, I've got to get up. Everybody's got to get up. I got to get my bat right where I left it. I got to bat again. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Next pitch, immediately strike out. I'm exhausted and just over baseball. Here's what I learned, though, that day. Here's what I learned. I learned that if you're confident, you can get away with quite a bit. Because no one tried to stop me, and they should have. They knew I wasn't supposed to go. That's why the catcher was holding the ball, because he was like, "I don't think he's supposed to be going yet." And then I just run to second. He's like, "Guess I'm wrong. No one's that dumb." And then he launches it into the outfield, who's barely paying attention. The umpire figures it out, but it's just easier to let me get back to him. No one ever told the parents either. No one ever explained it to them. And they were cheering pretty hard. It's a pretty exciting play to watch. And they just see me slide into home and just stand up and bat again. Like that's just a rule in baseball. And you know what? What's funny too? The year before, I got a legit triple off a walk. So in that moment, I'm like, this is just what I do. You know, like I was like, don't walk me. Like this is my thing. All right. I'm a pretty dumb guy. That's the general. I went to a community college for 1 year, have 0 credits. 0. My loan was like $40. I paid cash. All my classes were outside. We never went inside the building. We would meet at a picnic table outside because our teacher was like, you guys will all be working outside one day. So. I've like thought about like if I could time travel, if I could go back in time knowing everything I know now, I don't think you would even hear about it. I think I would just get stuck. I don't know anything. Like I think if I went back, I don't think I could prove I'm from the future. Like who's the next president? I'm like, just name someone and I'll tell you if I've heard of them or not. But I have no idea. I am married as well. It's fine, you know, you just do it. This is what marriage is. It's just one guy talking and the other's like, I'm gonna get out of here. This is not. My wife, one time we were out on the lake with some of our friends and we were floating around in the water and there was a guy in a boat right next to us, and my wife was like, oh, that's my ex-boyfriend in that boat. I didn't know who he was. She didn't have to say anything at all. She was just basically like, are you having fun? Because I would like to put a stop to that, and make you stare at this guy. So I was staring at him, and then I looked at her, and she was staring at him, and I felt like she was staring at him to see what her life would be like if she didn't marry me. So I started staring at him to see what my life would be like if I didn't marry her. I mean, we were putting so much pressure on this guy, and nothing happened. We basically just realized we don't have a boat, but my friends were like, you shouldn't try to fight him. Why didn't you go fight him? I was like, I don't know, because I would have had to swim over to that fight. I don't know how intimidating that is for a guy to see a head in a life jacket floating his way. And then I got to get in the boat. Have you ever tried to climb into a boat from water? It's not aggressive. It takes an hour if no one is in the boat. I would need his help. That's how that fight would start. Oh, thank you. Is this all right? We fight a lot, my wife and she'll just if we get in a fight, she'll give me the silent treatment. And the silent treatment is very common. Everybody knows what it is. And I think you're just born knowing it. I don't think you're taught it. You know, it's just like something that's inside of you. Here's what made me realize that. I was rewatching the movie Sixth Sense. And look, I'm not trying to do a 6-inch joke. This is a 20-year-old movie. I mean, look how old he is now, Haley Joel Osment. It's that many years ago. That's the baby. It's 20 years old. I also have to spoil it for you, but again, it's 20 years old. So if you haven't seen it by now, then I don't know what to tell you. But think about when you saw this movie for the first time. None of us knew he was dead too, by the way, just so you know. And if you haven't seen it, like, that's a pretty big part of it. But For those that have, think about it. When you saw this movie for the first time, none of us knew he was dead. That was the biggest surprise we've ever seen in a movie. We just thought his wife wasn't talking to him for like a year. That made more sense to us than him possibly being dead. And they don't hide him dying. A guy shoots him with a gun to start the movie. And we watched it for 2 hours, just like, this is what a movie about marriage. This is what marriage is like. Even if you get shot, it's your fault. We have a daughter as well, and when my daughter was to be born, I'm from Nashville, and when she was to be born, we were living in New York, but she was not born in New York. We flew home. She was born in Tennessee. I don't need her growing up thinking she's better than me. So I was like, you start where we start, all right? No one gets a leg up in this family. I love having a kid. Kids have very weird energy. Like their energy is like they want to fight you. They stare at you. They stare at just strangers for so long. And you try to stare back like, I will fight you in front of everybody. And they just look through you like, please, I would love it if you tried. I'm a big chain guy. I go to a lot of chain things. I just like to go to businesses that are doing good everywhere. I'm a big McDonald's fan. I go there quite a bit. And I take my friends, and every time I go in there, they're like, I haven't been here in forever. It's like, don't act like I'm the one keeping them afloat, all right? They're doing real good. So I went in with a buddy of mine, another comedian named Louis J. Gomez. And me and Louis, we go in, we ordered our food at McDonald's, and we sit down at our table. And then Louis went to the bathroom. He left me alone with his food. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to play a prank on him. So I grabbed his hamburger, I unwrapped it, I took a bite of it, and I wrapped it back up and put it back on his tray. That's my big prank, right? Like when he comes back from the bathroom, I'll be like, dude, did they just eat your burger? That's crazy that they're doing that, right? Is that crazy? It's a dumb prank. It's harmless. It should never leave the table. All that should happen is Louis should come, he should open his burger, and his first reaction should be to look at his best friend who's sitting with him, who also, by the way, dabbles in comedy. And just be like, hey, I just want to run this by you before I unexpectedly go freak out on this entire McDonald's. That's what I thought would go down. Just a little, hey, did you touch my food the only time it's out of my sight? I just want to know before I try to fight a group of people that are going to be pretty confused on why they're fighting. But instead, I got to learn I'm friends with a lunatic and a guy comfortable fighting McDonald's employees because he opened his burger and could not have ignored me quicker. He looked at them so fast, almost like he expected them to do it, like it's happened before. And he's like, again with this. I will fight all of you till I find out who ate my burger. And he gets up, he starts walking towards them. I can't believe it's working. We have gotten so much farther than I'm prepared to get. So I just grabbed him. I go, dude, I ate it. Like, why would you not look at me once to see if I did this? And I get him to sit down, and it's weird. Like, everybody's looking at us. It takes 10 minutes for people to quit filming us with their phones. And it hits me. I'll just sit there. I was like, you're gonna get killed one day, man. I was like, let's pretend I'm not here. Let's pretend that someone did eat your burger that worked at this McDonald's. You're just gonna go blindly fight him. Not even try to size him up, see what he looks like. Do you really think you could beat up a guy that is apparently pretty confident in himself, that he's making burgers, he's then eating them, and then he's wrapping them up and just sending them out to whoever? You don't think that guy's probably the greatest fighter of all time? I think you're gonna walk to the McDonald's counter and be like, who ate my burger? And all the McDonald's employees are gonna part ways. They know exactly who you're talking about. And in the very back, you see a guy cracking his neck. He's got his fist in the fryer. Doesn't even know it. Just warming his hands up. All right, that's it for me. Thank you guys for letting me come out, honestly. I appreciate it. Put 3 men in that room. 2 of those men will fight that orangutan. The other one would have started it going, I think y'all should fight that orangutan. So guys get in there, and they're like, all right, we'll go fight this orangutan. And the orangutan would just knock everybody out. Because we don't have the internet to look up how strong's an orangutan. It's all word of mouth back then. You had to meet a guy to just fought an orangutan. And you're like, but the arms are skinny. He's like, I know. That's what made me get in there as well. So Peter put a stop to that also. Yeah. Look, whatever you want to say about PETA, they did some real work in the 1900s. All right, this is it. This is fun, huh? This is, yeah. I mean, let me tell you, 20 has been my favorite year. Out of all the years, this has been the best one. I mean, you know, there's aliens. They said there's UFOs. And no one cares. That's... What kind of year could you have that you could sneak in? Hey, everybody, on the news. They're at the end of the news, they go, there's UFOs. And you're like, oh, do they have COVID? And you're like, no. Like, I don't know. They won't get tested. But it was funny. I told my wife that. I said, they said there's UFOs. And she just went about her day. I mean, just, might even watch this and be like, oh, I didn't even hear that. And that's the point. That's how amazing 2020 has been. I also feel this is a good year to see where your friends are at. You know, like you want to be in the middle, I think. And I got friends that they take a shower with their mask on. And they sleep with the mask on because they have a hamster, and the hamster probably has it. And they live alone. It's just them and the hamster. And I also have friends that I don't think have even heard about COVID. Like someone told them to try to go get it. That's how they're living. I have friends too that they tell me they already had it. They're like, I had it. I had a fever. February, had a fever for a couple hours, so probably had it. I had one friend, he told me he had it in 2015. Convinced. He goes, I had it in 2015. I was the first, and it just didn't catch on like it has now. But I can tell you one thing that's gone forever is coughing in public. That's a wrap. I mean, you drink water wrong at a restaurant, just go walk in traffic. The whole restaurant just stops. Your table would be like, get out of here. Get out of here. And you know who that's going to hurt the most to cough in public? My parents. That's what I feel, because that's one of their favorite things to do, cough in public. They love it. That's all they do. They cough everywhere. My dad's choking constantly. If he's not choking, that's when we get worried. That's how much choking he's doing. We go to a restaurant, and they're like, is you okay? I'm like, oh, I didn't even, yeah, that's just what he does, you know? Silver War, that's how I say it. Instead of civil, I go Silver War. Because, you know, look, that might be on me, all right? I'm not... I tell you, I don't even know anything about the Silver War. So we would go watch my dad. So my dad would do magic. Right next to him, they had a donkey jumping off a high dive into a pool. So pretty hard to keep everybody's attention. When my dad is like, is this your card? And everybody, this donkey's about to jump off this high dive. That's something you don't think you want to see till it's up there. And I use the word jump very loosely. These donkeys are falling off this high dive. But you can't put that on the sign, you know? You don't watch a donkey fall off a high dive? No? Okay. What if he jumped? Well, at least he's into it. So the donkey would go up this ramp like 40 feet in the air. And it would just stand there because it doesn't want to jump. It's not in on this. So, but it gets stuck because donkeys can't walk backwards. Not positive if that is true, but I've never seen a donkey go backwards. I've never even really looked, but I honestly think 45 years I would have seen a couple donkeys go backwards. So the donkey stays there, and he sends a dog up the ramp. It barks at the donkey, and the donkey jumps in the pool. And as someone that has seen this, I'll tell you, when that donkey hits the water, you're like, we should probably get out of here. It's not as fun as you thought it would be. I mean, this is going to sound dumb, but you're really surprised you're seeing what the sign said you would see. PETA got a hold of that. They shut it down, and that was one I think everybody was like, fair enough, we get that. Look, I can be wasteful. Like, if something gets to the bottom, I will throw it away. Ketchup. If ketchup gets like that much left, I'm like, blech. She will put the old ketchup with the new ketchup. That way your ketchup's always gross. So we would go watch my dad. So my dad would do magic. Right next to him, they had a donkey jumping off a high dive into a pool. So pretty hard to keep everybody's attention. When my dad is like, is this your card? And everybody, this donkey's about to jump off this high dive. That's something you don't think you want to see till it's up there. And I use the word jump very loosely. These donkeys are falling off this high dive. But you can't put that on the sign, you know? You don't watch a donkey fall off a high dive? No? Okay. What if he jumped? Well, at least he's into it. So the donkey would go up this ramp like 40 feet in the air, and it would just stand there because it doesn't want to jump. It's not in on this. So, but it gets stuck because donkeys can't walk backwards. Not positive if that is true, but I've never seen a donkey go backwards. I've never even really looked, but I honestly think 45 years I would have seen a couple donkeys go backwards. So the donkey stays there, and he sends a dog up the ramp. It barks at the donkey, and the donkey jumps in the pool. And as someone that has seen this, I'll tell you, when that donkey hits the water, you're like, we should probably get out of here. It's not as fun as you thought it would be. I mean, this is going to sound dumb, but you're really surprised you're seeing what the sign said you would see. PETA got a hold of that. They shut it down, and that was one I think everybody was like, fair enough, we get that. Recently, I was walking in my car, and I had a college kid come up, and he was raising money, for nature, or it was for Earth. It was nature and Earth. I don't know. He used real words, but it was, basically, I felt and he looked at me and he's like, it's going to Earth. And I was like, yeah, well, Earth is going through it right now. So He was telling me everything Earth is going through. It's pollution. He said our water's being poisoned. I said, not under my watch, but I understand. Very excited to be back to Saturday Night Live. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm from Nashville. Went to, look at us. Yeah, we had a big day today. I went to community college, and it's a big deal. There's community college. A lot of people do not know this, but community college is college when they're like, you're probably staying in your community. So we're going to show you the ropes around town, kind of give you just a lay of the land. I took all remedial classes. I was there 1 year, 0 credits. I was there the whole time. It's not good. I took speech as a class in college. I drove there with my friends. They were going to real classes. And they'd go like business math or something. I don't even know what a class is called. Because I was like, I'm going to speech. I think I'm a different part of the campus. We stay in the same room and our teachers rotate. How about you guys? I still say a lot of words wrong, too. That's what I don't understand. Like, with speech, help me out. I say the word oil, like oil. I don't even know how to, O-I-L, oil, motor oil. Fix that. Southern Community College, this should be mandatory that they fix that. They should write O-I-L on the board and be like, say that. I go, oil. I go, all right, we're going to take care of that. All right. There's a pretty good chance you're going to be working with a lot of that. I just had it where I said it. I was eating a pizza, and on the menu, it said it had extra virgin olive oil on it. So, in my head, and I read it like this. I was like, well, I don't know if I want extra virgin olive oil. So, I don't know if I want any of it, much less... Maybe I don't want, So I go, when it was my turn, I was like, I think I'll take a regular amount of virgin olive oil. And no one really knew what to say to that. The only reason I know to make fun of it is because my friends go, did you say regular amount of virgin olive oil? I go, yeah, I don't know why they're forcing extra on us. I'm sorry. I don't know a lot about food, all right? First time I had raspberry, 40 years old. 40 years old, first time I had raspberry. I said it at the party. I was like, what is this? And they go, the bowl? That's how much they figured, well, clearly he knows what raspberry is. It makes more sense for him not to know what a bowl is. I didn't see raspberries growing up. I don't come from money, all right? I still swim with my eyes open. I love processed food, I love it. I'm a farm factory table guy. And always have been, DoorDash is what's going to kill me. I don't know who I think I am. I look at it at night like it's Tinder. Just scrolling through, seeing who's open. Just, hey, Hardee's. The audacity I have when I order it. I'm just laying there. I'm like, bring me a Blizzard now. I want it right now. Lay it quietly on my porch. Don't let anybody in this house know I'm doing this. It costs $3,000 for this Blizzard. All right, I'll pay it. I ordered it one night, so I like McDonald's, and so I got a number one with no onions. And McDonald's, they do have a McFlurry, but they only let you do one size. I don't care for that. So I was going to get a Blizzard, and I double dashed it. So if you don't know, you can double dash it. And double dashing is when you just keep peppering the guy. You know, you're like, what else is open around you? You know, maybe go see if they got nerds in that gas station. So I ordered it, but for some reason, I thought it was going to be the same guy, but they put it in two different drivers, so they separated. Now I'm like watching the GPS, and I'm like, they're going to come at the same time. Like, it's like in my worst nightmare. So, I need one of them to get in a wreck. It happens. I mean, I see them both. They both make the turn at the same time. I'm mortified. The McDonald's comes in, drops it off. Dairy Queen has to let him back out. He was just in the cul-de-sac like I was having construction done in my house at 11 o'clock at night. He just, no, go ahead. So the next time I did this, I figured, you know what? I'll just order it from two separate drivers. And that way I'm in control of when they come. So I ordered McDonald's, and then Dairy Queen was close, ordered Sonic Blast. And then Sonic, the thing was like, do you want to make it a whole meal? And I was like, I guess if it's easier. You know, probably tax reasons and stuff, it's easier for Sonic. So ordered 2 full meals. McDonald's drops it off at my front door. Take a picture of my door. My front door, I couldn't have picked out of a lineup before DoorDash. Now I have 800 pictures of my front door. I get a picture of the Sonic. It's at a door I do not know. So I had a moment of just like, do I go find it? Do I go get it? And I did. I went, hunted it down. I walked in all the yards in my neighborhood. I was on every Ring doorbell, just like a raccoon, just looking for all this food. All right, we've got a great show for you tonight. Coldplay is here, so stick around. We will be right back. I got in trouble with my wife because, like, on her last birthday, I got her an oven. All right, pretty nice oven. Take it easy. And I bought an oven because, like, I know, like the vacuum, her other favorite toy as a kid was the Easy Bake Oven. So to go with her big girl vacuum, I got her. So to go with her big girl vacuum, I got her a grown-up adult oven. Like, there was heart behind it. Like, that's not, that's not impressive. If she came home and bought me a truck and it turned into a live robot, I would lose my mind. I pulled a muscle recently. I guess it was in my soul. I mean, it was dead middle of my body. I thought it was the front, and then I was like, well, that back hurts too. So. Well, what's in the middle? What muscle is in the middle? Hotels are getting futuristic. A lot of hotels, when I stay at, now when you take a shower, they have half a glass. So it's open, so the water gets on the floor. Because that's the future. They want water on the floor. And I'm old and dumb. We really try to keep the water inside the tub. It was a pretty big deal. But now, they want the floors wet. That's what they want. They want to do no glass, but I'm still alive, so they're like, all right, do half a glass. Once that guy's gone, we'll do no glass. Floors are wet, drains off the balcony. I'm not smart at all. I'm smart enough to answer my 6-year-old's questions. He's like, why is the sun hot? I'm like, 'cause it's on fire. It's a stupid question. And I tell her that, all right? Because I know that she'll be smarter than me next year and then just for the rest of her life. So I am really sticking it to her while I can. I know nothing about adult stuff that you're supposed to know about. Global warming, that's one that everybody yells at you about. And they're like, you better do something. I'm like, I'm so tired of it. Let's do it. I'm like, I barely made it out of high school. I don't really know how rain works. So why don't you let me figure that out, and then I'll do global warming, you know? But I've seen it rain without clouds. Where's that water coming from? So I'm pretty swamped with this rain stuff right now, but once I get to the bottom of that, I'm gonna do global warming, and I've got some pretty good ideas, you know? I went to community college for 1 year. I have 0 credits. Community college, a lot of people don't know, is college when they're like, you're probably gonna stay in your community. So, we're just gonna show you the ropes around town. Kind of give you a lay of the land. That whole year, I don't have credits because I had to take all remedial classes, which remedial is basically they're classes for someone my age now trying to go back to school because they don't remember school. And I took them right out of school. They were like, you don't remember school? I was like, I just came from school. And they go, it looks like you've never heard about it. Everybody in there was like 50. I'm like, well, who's the teacher? I think you have to tell me if I ask, who's the teacher? I've got to travel a lot, which is fun. I get to go to like different countries, and I don't deserve to go. Like, I don't know where these countries are at. I just go. I didn't learn about any of it. Like, I learned about Tennessee. I learned about the states that touched us in case they attacked. And yeah, and I was told the rest was Europe, and that's where all the gays live. So I didn't have a passport, you know? I was young. I've done pretty good during COVID. Because I feel like you could I lost some weight during COVID. You could go 2 ways. If you wanted to gain weight, this is your time. I mean, everybody's fine with it. You can just do it. But I've been doing all that up until COVID. I've always lived by that rule. So during COVID, I was like, I need to stop. And my neighbor started working out in his driveway. And so he's like, let's work out in my driveway. And, you know, I make a lot of excuses during COVID. You're like, I'm just so busy. You know, I got a lot of stuff to do today. And he's just out there. So I started doing it with him, and he had a trainer. And I'm not a big fan of working out. Never done it. And I told him, I was like, I just want to do upper body stuff. And they go, all right, well, how about we just do legs every day? That's all it is legs. I think it's a huge conspiracy with trainers that you never actually do your upper body. And when you are doing it, I mean, I asked him, I go, is this upper body? He goes, yeah. I go, yeah, because I'm bending down quite a bit. When we were doing these driving shows, we were all on a bus together. I convinced Nick that I didn't know who Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding were. Nick is learning this, that I do know who they are. He's learning right now with you. I never told him. I absolutely know who they are. He brought all his references are just 90s sports references. He only can reference the 90s. And so he brings up Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding, and I was like, who's that? He's like, what? You don't know who they are? And I was like, I don't think anybody knows who they are. And he was like, a huge story. It was like figure skating is like a mafia hit. I was like, I've never heard this, dude. Don't you think I would have heard it? I mean, I was like, no one knows this. He's like, he's losing his mind. I go, they should make a 30 for 30 if it's that. They did. Another guy's like, they should make a movie about it. He goes, there's a movie. And he's just losing it. I've got to travel a lot, which is fun. I get to go to like different countries, and I don't deserve to go. Like, I don't know where these countries are at. I just go. I didn't learn about any of it. Like, I learned about Tennessee. I learned about the states that touched us in case they attacked. And yeah, and I was told the rest was Europe, and that's where all the gays live. So I didn't have a passport, you know? I was young. My wife's always around, too, I feel. Always, like, near, you know, especially about home. It's like I married a cat that I'm like, you just always on me. If I go to the bathroom, she's like, I'm going to paint the bathroom door while you're in there. I'm I'm like, you couldn't do it later? And I had all the time to do it. I thought I'd wait till you went in, and that's when I was gonna start. If I eat something she doesn't approve of, it pops up, man. I mean, I'll try to sneak it. I could eat an Oreo cookie in the attic at 3 a.m., and I would bet my life a light would cut on, and she'd be like, what are you doing up here? And if I questioned it, it was like, what are you doing up here? She's like, I'm always up here. This is when I do my attic stuff. She put Life 360 on my phone. That's so they can treat you when they're not near you. You might not even know you have it on your phone. It's worse than what the government's doing. I would rather the government track me than her. She just calls me, why are you at Krispy Kreme donuts? I'm like, look, I'm not gonna live like this, all right? If I want donuts, I'm not gonna lock my phone in a gym locker and go pay cash for donuts. Done it, but I'm not gonna do it every time. God forbid I go to a store she has a coupon for. I'll be walking into the parking lot just to get a call, buy anything, I have a coupon. I'm like, do you think I'm gonna come home and get that coupon? Is things about to happen? I'm gonna try to pay more now that you called. I don't even know if Target allows that, but I'm gonna try to negotiate up on this toothpaste. You better hope they don't round up. I'm rounding up. I hate coupons so much, and she's addicted to them. She will not let me leave. Like, I got a coupon. I'm like, I just feel so stupid. I'm buying deodorant, and I'm like, I don't have all the money, but I'm almost there. But I do have this coupon. One day, I hope to be able to pay full price. We are saving up as much as we can. I told one guy that. He tried to tell me that was for, like, when people leave their babies in the car. Like, you know, like when you go out and you're like, I cannot remember if I brought my baby today. And I don't want to walk all the way back and check. Like, what if it's not there? If it's not there, I'm going to look like a jackass in front of my friends. I wish I could check secretly without everybody knowing. Here's my method for if someone's gonna hide in my car and kill me. It's a huge fear of mine. So what I do is right when I start my car, I have Journey, Don't Stop Believing in my CD player. So right when I start it, it's right on the Don't Stop Believing part, because that's a great song. Like, you commit a murder to that song. That is that good of a song. That guy would want to, and then he would like just be furious. He'd just get up and be like, look, that's a really good tune, all right? You got me. And then he'd climb up front with you, and you become friends. And that's just a neat story. How do you know Dennis? Dennis, he was a murderer. Turns out, pretty big Journey fan. Actually a good guy once you get to know him. He's good. He's a good guy. Thank you. Look, I can be wasteful. Like, if something gets to the bottom, I will throw it away. Ketchup. If ketchup gets like that much left, I'm like, blech. She will put the old ketchup with the new ketchup. That way your ketchup's always gross. Another one, Pete, I had to shut down. This was, again, like the 1980s. I was alive. You could fight an orangutan at a fair. They would have an orangutan just sitting in a boxing ring, and guys would pay to fight it. And I say guys because I just can't imagine one woman ever fought this orangutan. I think you could put an orangutan in a room with 1,000 women, and when they walked out, they're like, did anybody fight it? But it never crossed their mind to fight it. My parents are getting older. They're not super old, but they're at the age where, you know, if they trip, they will fall to the ground. There's just an age where it happens. I mean, if I trip, my body hasn't touched the ground in 40 years. But it's just, I don't know. It's like the upper is like, we're going, and the lower is like, what? And it's just, bro. And I mean, there's no like, whoa, it's just, they don't even know what's happening. They're just looking at you, and you're like, you're not feeling any of this? And they hit the ground so hard, it's like they got thrown off a roof. Everybody hears it, they're like, what's going on? I think my parents are down. I gotta get them up. My mom's got a bruise that won't go away for 2 years. I just walk ahead of them now. I'm like a Sherpa. Just let them know the terrain that we're about to hit. Got a little carpet coming up. Got a little carpet, won't go outside a little brighter than inside. And cobblestone, you ain't gonna make that. So, lay down on the carpet. I'm gonna back the car up in the building. "2020, it's been one of my favorites. I can tell you one thing that is canceled for sure. Coughing in public, that's over. You eat a restaurant and just drink water wrong. You just got to get up and go to your car and drive home. The whole restaurant just stares at you. It's going to be hardest on my parents, because my parents, there's nothing more they love than coughing in public. It's one of their favorite things to do. I mean, I haven't had a conversation with my dad in 10 years without him choking the whole time. And you have to go, every time you go to a restaurant too, now they take your temperature. It's just a teenager that doesn't know what he's doing. Doesn't even hold it up near my head. He's just like, 45 degrees, you're good. You're like, am I? He's not even fazed by it. He's like, I'm like, dude, I think I'm dead. I should go to the hospital. Everybody acts like they've already had COVID too. Everybody's like, I think I had it in February. You're like, did you? They're like, I think so. I remember I sneezed a lot one week, and my wife and I, we have an 8-year-old daughter, and so we're having to do the virtual learning. And they're like, just teach her school stuff. You're like, that's good. I barely made it out of high school. Let me give it a go. And she's doing Common Core math. She brought home new math. That's what they want us to do. I don't even know what this math is. And they're like, here's a new one. You're like, oh, great. I get to watch a 40-minute YouTube video on Common Core math. And it's not like the old math was doing bad. It's doing great. It's not like we're getting incorrect everywhere. And we're just sitting there like this stupid old math. I wish new math would come along. If you don't know Common Core math, it's just basically a long way to get to the same answer. It's like how can we use the entire sheet of paper for this math problem? And even when you break it down, you see old math sneak in there. I mean, you're like, that was old math right there. Just do that at the beginning, and we won't even have to be in this. I told my wife, it's a long way to get to the same thing. It would be if you came to my house and you knocked on the front door and you're like, can I come in? And I was like, could you walk around and come in through the back door? And you would be like, does the front door not work? And he's like, it works. It works fine. I use it. Most people still use it. But the new way is to go up the fence, come in the back, and then meet me back here. One thing my daughter does miss is she was starting to ride the bus, which was very fun. And when she first started riding the bus, we switched schools, and it was in first grade. First day of school, we walked her to the bus stop. It was a very, very fun day. And then at the end of the school day, someone from the school called my cell phone. They have my wife's cell phone, and they have my cell phone. So they called my cell phone, and they said, hey, do you know what bus number your daughter's supposed to be on? And I said, I'm her dad. I was like, this is how you thought you saw a mom and dad's cell phone and you said, I bet the dad knows. I mean, do you have parents? Were you raised with a family? Have you ever seen families out before? You thought, let's call the husband? I bet he knows. Unless there's two husbands, you should never call a husband a day in your life. I would rather you have a lady that doesn't know her walking by. I think she could get to the bottom of it quicker than I can. And finally, I just said, all right, I'll get her. What's the name of the school? All right, that's it for me. Thank you guys very much. Hotels are getting futuristic. A lot of hotels, when I stay at, now when you take a shower, they have half a glass. So it's open, so the water gets on the floor. Because that's the future. They want water on the floor. And I'm old and dumb. We really try to keep the water inside the tub. It was a pretty big deal. But now, they want the floors wet. That's what they want. They want to do no glass, but I'm still alive, so they're like, all right, do half a glass. Once that guy's gone, we'll do no glass. Floors are wet, drains off the balcony. Here's what I'm doing for, my daughter's future environment is what I decided to do. They say we won't have water. So I put a bunch of buckets outside to collect water. And when she turns 18 and she's like, do I get money? Like, something a little better than money. Bet you've always wondered what those buckets were doing outside. Well, they're all yours. And that's for your kids and their kids. Everybody gets a bucket of water. No, look, guys, all seriousness, though, global warming, we gotta stop it. Or more of it. I don't really know which way we want to go, but it can't stay warmer. I know that. It's got to be one or, something's got to happen. Something can't stay where we're at. So go, I don't know what direction you want me to, just go. Look, all seriousness, let's use this as a platform for global, guys, I felt like, as a spokesperson for all of Earth, all right? I think I'll give you a message that I don't think no one will give you, and I'm here to say that we're doing fine. So just relax. We're in a time where everybody yells at you and everybody's bad. We're doing great, all right? I did some research, and I was like, let me look at the other planets. Let's see how good they're doing. And I don't want to, it's unbelievable. They're nowhere right now. Some of them have too many moons. That's how stupid they are. And so let's calm down, all right? We're so much farther ahead. They haven't started and we're almost done. So let's celebrate being first. Don't be sore winners. I'm cold now, too, that I'm old. 45, I just get cold. I always have to bring a jacket. It could be 135 degrees outside, and I will walk around with a jacket. And I see these young people, and I just think, where are your jackets? My body's falling apart. My shoulder hurts because I stand on stage like this. It's crazy. This was a huge mistake to get into this. If I had known that this would be a big problem, I would have probably tried to not make it a habit. My body can't handle this. And I went to the doctor to try to fix it, and they talked to me like I was an old car. He just goes, I wouldn't put any more money into it, to be honest. I travel all the time, and if I fly Delta, if I buy a ticket through Delta's system, my name in their system is Nathan, and on my license, my name is Nathaniel. I do not remember making this decision. It's a big deal. You can't just change it. I've tried. I've asked Delta if they could change it, and they're like, we can't change it. And you're like, then I don't know. I don't know where we go from here, you know? If you can't do it, who can do it? I mean, is that why people call senators? Do they do it? I don't know. I think about my parents a lot, because I mean, the world is getting very futuristic. And like them, I'm from the 1900s. You gotta watch out for the 1900s, people. We're old. It's so, I mean, my great Aunt Helen from the 30s, she's deaf. They didn't know she was deaf back then. The doctors, they had no idea. They were baffled. That's how good doctors were back then. They just said, they looked at her as they smoked in her face. These were real doctors. They were like, oh no. She's rude, I'll tell you that. I remember I would fall out of a bunk bed. I slept in a bunk bed. I was on a bunk, and I would get over a railing and just fall 6 feet to the ground and just land. I mean, you don't catch yourself. It's just whatever hits first. All your body weight just lands on your head. I got a full-blown concussion. I'm crying. My parents are like, just go back to a deep sleep for 7 hours. I've had concussions in my life, and none of them because of sports. Just living life, man, you know? Stuff happens to your head. What are you gonna do? One was in high school. I got pushed into a wall head first. It took them 3 class periods to figure out I had a concussion. That's how much I was bringing to the table. I mean, 2 teachers didn't even notice. And the third one was like, he wasn't forward. And that's when I realized he's one of the better facer forwards I've ever had. So I knew. My biggest concussion was when I was 12 years old. I fell down. I grew up in Old Hickory, Tennessee, and we used to climb down this cliff into Old Hickory Lake, and we'd done it a ton of times. And so one day I slip and fall. So my friend that I'm with, he goes and gets my mom. They were fishing in a boat down in the lake, and so he sees me and he gets me into the boat. And he takes me over to some stairs, which he had to be like, why didn't he just use these stairs? I mean, they were right next to that cliff. Like, it didn't even make sense. There was 2 guys at the bottom of the steps, and he goes, hey, this kid fell. Can you carry him up? So they carry me up, and my mom's in an ambulance in her pajamas. My dad, who I think everybody knows now is a magician, and he's doing a show in a full tuxedo. So when they get to the hospital, the doctor starts talking to my parents. I mean, my mom looks homeless. My dad's in a tuxedo. It looks like they're divorced and someone's not paying child support. So we have never known who was in the boat or the guys that carried me up those stairs. We've never known who it was. And we always wanted to thank them. I mean, those guys truly saved my life. And we could just never find out who it was. So we've never known. So I tell you that to tell you, last year, my dad he's doing a show. He does these magic shows in prisons. So he's doing a show in a prison. And during the show, one of the inmates just stands up and says, I know your son. Which is probably not the best place as a father to hear that. Just like, I know your boy. He keeps his mouth shut. He's good people. So my dad, he goes, hey, he's like, all right. He goes, how do you know my son? And he was one of the guys that carried me up those stairs that day. I mean, I promise, I was 12 years old, and we've never known who carried me up those stairs. And it was him and his brother. And then his brother saw me on the Tonight Show and was like, that's that kid that we carried up those stairs that day. So pretty crazy. And so since then, I've been actually bringing him out to shows. Bringing him out tonight. And no, he's not here. He's in prison. But yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Look, he would love to be here, trust me. I mean, yeah, he'd kill to be here, to be honest. But there's one day I'll get him. I did find out why he was in prison, which was crazy. It was that same day. They just carried a body down those stairs. And you can imagine the frustration to then be handed another body. And you're like, dude, are you serious right? Like, we just did this, man, you know? All right, that part I made up, but the rest of it's true. So I was born in 1979, and the reason I say that, because if you are my age or just right around my age, very like maybe 78 to 80, you might realize, or maybe you don't know, I've never been called a millennial or Generation X. I've never even really heard any of those terms growing up. And now you hear them all the time. So I looked it up to try to see, I was like, what am I? And I'm technically nothing. I'm on a cusp. I'm a generation gap. And what we are called, Zennials, or we're called the Oregon Trail generation, or we are called, my favorite name is the lucky ones. And it's true, we're very lucky. We actually grew up in two different worlds. When I was a kid, I grew up like it was the 50s. Like you would go out and your parents just didn't know where you were. We went to school and played Oregon Trail on a computer at school. No one had a computer at home. It's like, what are you, a zillionaire? Like, I mean, you could. But then in high school, I had AOL. You know, we had a computer at home. Then I got a beeper, and then I got a cell phone. I didn't have social media until I was 26 with MySpace. You know, I mean, social media, like, whatever I did in high school is a rumor. It can't ruin my life. So if you're around my age, you might realize, like, you just end up always kind of being in the middle. Like, I understand when a Gen Xer says something, you're like, I get it. And Millennial says something, you're like, no, I get it. You always just feel in the middle. And these groups all hate each other. And the most I've ever felt where I was in the middle was just this one hotel that I stayed at. So a lot of hotels now, they have Chromecast, and you can watch like Netflix in your hotel room. So I get in my room, and I turn it on, and my Chromecast is not working. So I called down to the front desk, and the oldest voice I ever heard answered the phone. This guy was a Civil War survivor. I mean, he was the age where you just go, thank you for your service. And it's like, I was in the Army, you're like, probably, man. I mean, there's an age where like, they all had to go at that age, so just say it. So I tell him, I go, hey, my Chromecast is not working. And I could have just made up a word. I mean, he's never heard of that. I could have said, bro. I mean, he asked if I was staying at that hotel. That's how, he goes, are you staying here? I was like, do you think I've called the front desk from a different hotel room? So he goes, look, I don't know what this is, but there's a younger guy here. Send him up. He'll be able to help you. And I was like, great. So that guy comes up, and he knocks on my door. I open it. He's my dad's age. And I mean, right when I see him, you're like, all right, dude, we don't have to do this. You know, I mean, I know you've heard of it, but if I can't fix it, you're not going to be able to fix it. But he's the generation that still wants to give it a try. So I gotta let him in. So he comes in my room, sits on my bed, a little too far back, I thought. I just remember like the back of his calves were touching the bed, and I was like, are your feet dangling? How far back are you gonna go? Are you cold? Do you want some covers, man? He gets the remote and just starts pressing all the buttons, and I said, I don't know how to do it. And he goes, let's just keep trying it, though. I go, all right. I'm gonna turn the shower on, open a window, let's try everything, you know? Let's just see, maybe it turns on, who knows? Maybe it's all connected. So we can't get it, and he goes, all right. He goes, there's a younger guy. He's about to come to work. At this point, I'm like, I'm the younger guy, man. I was like, it's all right, dude, I don't need it. And he goes, no, it's a millennial. I was like, all right, now we're getting somewhere, you know? This is what the millennial does. He was born with technology. He's gonna know this. I was excited. I was like, great. He goes, he comes to work in an hour. I go, wonderful. And let me tell you know how quick that millennial fixed it? Well, I'll never know, because he just didn't come to work that night. So, didn't call in, nothing. And I found out because the old guy called me, because he was supposed to fill in for him. He was furious, dude. He hates that millennial. He goes, he never comes to work. He doesn't take it serious. He's got a peanut allergy. And I was like, all right, well, I ended up fixing it myself because it was just unplugged. So that's my fault. So I'm married as well, and me and my wife just celebrated our 14th wedding anniversary, and we've been together for years. And I met her, it was before I ever started comedy. We both worked at Applebee's together. Is where we met. We're big Applebee's fans, still to this day. Hold on. Let me it feels like, yeah, that's a good one. Are they not all doing the same job? You know, like, and they just be like, well, I'm already over here, so you don't got to come over here, you know? That's what it seems like they should do. They should talk more and go, I'm over here. And he goes, oh, okay, I didn't realize you were over. He's like, yeah. So don't go, I'll stay over here and you stay over there. That's like our main thing is that we can stay right here, you know? All right. My wife and I, we met at Applebee's. And before I ever started comedy, I was a host and she was a server. And someone asked me, they said, hey, do you think, did you ever imagine when you started dating that life would become all that it's become? And she said, well, when I met him, he was a host, and I didn't think he was smart enough to be a server. So, yeah, we've got a little bit farther than I expected, you know? I told her I want to be a server one day, and she's like, you keep dreaming that dream, all right? I think if you try hard, you can get that menu memorized. I had a hard time in school. When I barely graduated, got into a community college, barely got into a college they have to let everybody in.